Our hero takes form. Welcome back. I'm Peter Pahumis, your Pluralsight instructor. In this module, we're going to discuss how to make our hero take form, making quick corrections in Photoshop, pencil render our hero, render the figure, discuss shading, quickly design a costume, and most importantly, remember everybody, have fun. All right, guys. As mentioned in a previous module, I'm considering making adjustments to one of the character's arms, either his left arm or his right. I'm going to make a correction to his left arm. Now, this is a nice little trick to make some adjustments that could really be nice time savers. The first thing I want to do is make a duplicate layer of the less rough sketch layer, turn off the eyeball of it, and let's click on and off the rough sketch layer just to make sure that we're kind of at the right spot. Then what I want to do is select the lasso tool and start circling around it, making sure that I capture all of the important bits and pieces. Now remember, this is still our rough layer, so nothing is etched in stone here, so this is the perfect time to make these changes. I'm going to select my transformation to rotate. I don't want to make it any larger. I don't want to do too much with it. Don't forget to lock in your height and width. And for my needs, I'm making a minor adjustment of a rotation, and I am pulling the arm a little bit more level with the character's right arm. I'm going to line it up best I can, make sure that it connects properly with the skeleton underneath, make sure that it still maintains the sense of dynamics, but adds to the flow of the figure. I'm thinking this looks pretty good. I'm going to apply the transformation, deselect, and now move forward. I'm going to show you pretty much what the original layer looked like, just to show you kind of how far it moved and how it's changed. I'm going to select my pencil tool, but first I need to go grab my eyedropper and make sure that I'm working pretty much with the same color blue that I was working with before. Select a nice size brush. For me, it's usually anywhere between 5 and 10 pixels. And I'm going to start connecting the dots. Basically, I just want to make sure that everything ties in and looks pretty decent. Now, what I want to do is create my pencil layer. This is going to be the version of the drawing that I go in and make a much tighter version of the sketches. I'm still working with the pencil tool that I want, making a minor adjustment on the size. And as I stated previously, when I create any illustration, for me, it's always about connection with the viewer. And if it's an advertisement, it's about the connection with the viewer and the product. Right now, the product that I'm creating is the superhero. So the main point of connection is to get this character that we are working on to connect with you. Now, what I want to do is quickly lighten the less rough sketch copy. This way, I am not overwhelmed by the blue line and I can better pick the lines that speak to me. And I've previously spoken about that. So, as usual, I start with the face, always with an eye, and just kind of move forward from there. I always want to make sure that everything is the way I need it to be for the illustration at hand. Don't be scared to erase bits. As you notice, I'm not editing out any little mistakes that I'm making. I'm just going with the flow so you can see my entire process. I had also lowered the pencil size of the tip just a little bit more so I can go in and do slightly finer detailed work. And remember, this here is just still the pencil version of the drawing. We're going to be going into inking later in a future module. So I'm just adjusting the pencil size again. Remember, there's no reason to stick with just one pencil size for the entire image. It does you no good. If you need something that's slightly bigger, don't be scared to adjust the size. Now, I'm going to be keeping all of the shapes of the face in mind. This is going to be something that we're going to have to consistently keep in mind as we work. Yet again, making another adjustment to the size of the pencil tip. Remember all your contour shapes. Remember how everything needs to have power and strength to it. My hero's jaw is massive, just like him. As I said before, he needs to look like he can take a shot to the mouth from a car and get back up and laugh it off. So, for this entire part of the illustration, really what I'm doing is I am making sure that the character has all the attributes that I want in his face and everything looks and feels right. Don't be scared to zoom in and out of your drawing as you work. There is a lot of value to be said for zooming in, zooming out, taking a true visual assessment of what you're working on. A lot of the times, a lot of artists dive in so deep into a image and they put so much detail into such a small little area that it really muddies up the image. The way I like to work is I kind of like to keep everything at a rough medium size. And then as I move forward and I start plotting everything, I dive in deeper and make sure I clean up any loose lines or loose ends that I feel are necessary. Now, for this series of clips, I'm going to be working on specific parts of the body like I did in the previous module. This one, we are going to be just fleshing out the head and putting in the most definitive lines that I feel are needed to carry the illustration forward. And it is not the exact way that I work. A lot of the times I start drawing stuff, dive in, zoom out, and start rendering everything with all the shadows and have already selected a light source. But for my instructional purposes, I am going to break a little bit with my workflow and save the shading steps towards the end. The reason is it'll make everything so much more simple and cleaner and allow me a nicer visual representation of the project as we move forward. This way, I don't lose anybody as I move forward and I'm still able to get my point across. So, right now, I feel that the head is pretty much on point for where I need to be. And I'm going to just kind of roughen a little bit some of the muscles in the neck and make sure that he looks powerful. He looks like a hero because that's what we're drawing here. The secret of this is not that it needs to be perfect, it needs to be heroic and it needs to definitely have a level of cool attached to it because that's part of the reason why everybody likes superheroes. Not only are they strong, not only are they powerful, but they look cool. I will catch you guys on the next clip when we dive even deeper in our illustration. And we begin working on the powerful torso of the hero we are creating together. I'll see you guys there.